The man crossed over to the thin body 60 years later, and his scores were all at the bottom in the first 2 rounds of the assessment for New Warrior. Coming to the 3rd round of the assessment of the outside the wall mist hunting, the man had just stepped out of the city gate. Unexpectedly, he was able to transmit and perceive the demonic information. This inexplicably arising resonance made the man shocked and puzzled. For the first time in this lifetime, facing the demon directly, the man fought hard with his teammates. With this practical combat opportunity, it was just a good time to test the ability of this thin body. The man runs at full speed and rushes towards the finless demon ahead. At this moment, the demon hit by Ang, like an angry giant beast, gives off an evil aura all over. It trembles to stand up, its eyes burn with anger. Its face is contorted, and it raises its fist and slams it hard at Ang. Just at the moment when the demon's fist is about to hit him, Ang suddenly leans to one side and barely avoids this blow. The reaction speed is not enough. Then, Ang turns his hand and grips the dagger in his hand and stabs the demon once. The hit demon is extremely angry. It raises its thick leg and kicks at Ang like the wind. Seeing this, Ang quickly leans back and tries to avoid this fierce blow. With this lean, he almost loses his balance and falls to the ground. Ang uses his hand to support the ground and barely stabilizes his body. The limb coordination is not good. Ang quickly gets up, tightly grips the dagger, and again stabs fiercely towards the demon's abdomen. Then, Ang pulls out the dagger sharply. He kicks up and kicks at the demon. The dagger in his hand aims at the demon's neck and slashes down hard. The demon, which is hit at the crucial point again, falls heavily to the ground. Due to the inertia, Ang slides back more than 10 meters. He bends down to lower the center of gravity, uses his hand to assist the body to increase friction, and stops. The power burst is insufficient. At this moment, the 3 teammates who witness all this all think that Ang seems to be playing with the other party, and Lu even thinks that Ang must be trying to steal her limelight. The captains on the city wall can't help but start to discuss. "Oh, who is that thin boy? The momentum is quite good," Captain Jier says, staring at Ang in the distance. Not only the momentum, his movements are very sophisticated. Captain Joel thinks that Ang's performance does not seem like that of a new person. Captain Hall looks at all this and becomes increasingly silent. On the hunting ground, the seriously injured demon lies on the ground and cannot get up for a while. Ang bends over and puffs heavily. Sweat slips down the cheek. After the previous test, he draws a conclusion. This body can't even use a previous skill, and it makes him pant heavily just by moving slightly. In short, it's simply terrible. "My test is over," Ang thinks to himself. "Then it's time to end you." Ang gathers his strength and rushes towards the demon not far away. Just at the moment when Ang rushes to the demon, a strange protuberance suddenly appears on the ground in front of his feet. A red spike appears in front of his eyes. Before Ang can see clearly, the huge spike emerging from the ground completely pierces through the body of the finless demon. Tree trunk-like vines spread out on the surrounding ground, surrounding the 4 people in the middle. At this time, a claw has been extended from the body of the finless demon. The place where it is punctured by the huge spike makes a sound, and the demon's body begins to expand and burst. There's actually something crawling out of the body of the finless demon. Looking at the scene in front of him, Ang can't help but widen his eyes. There is actually another demon crawling out of the body of the finless demon. The captains on the city wall are shocked by this scene. "Oh my god, it is actually a one-fin demon." After seeing clearly that it is a one-fin demon, Paul immediately shouts loudly towards the bottom of the city wall. It is a one-fin demon. Everyone returns to the city. When hearing the news of the one-fin demon, the new people on the hunting ground are like a frightened bird. Their eyes are full of fear and panic, as if seeing the advent of doomsday. They turn around and run towards the direction of the city wall. The 2 captains, Jier and Joel, jump down from the city wall and run rapidly in the direction of the demon. Jier shouts loudly towards the new people who run towards the direction of the city gate. "Don't panic, it will be safe near Captain Hall. He will protect you to return to the city." At this moment, the one-fin demon which surrounds the 4 people with the vines actually speaks. "Human, there is the aura of a demon. Which one is it?" Ang is very confused. The human has the aura of a demon. What is he saying? The one-fin demon slowly approaches the 4 people, emitting a suffocating evil aura around its body, and its contorted and distorted face reveals endless violence and ferocity. The 4 people whose faces are frightened by the approaching demon, their bodies can't stop trembling, and Lu can't help blushing. Is this the one-fin demon? Those finless demons just now can't be compared at all. It seems that I will be torn apart as soon as I blink and can't move at all. In the face of this behemoth, can't help sweating. And now this body is completely no match for the one-fin demon. He experiences for the first time the kind of sense of oppression felt when facing the fin demon as described by the ordinary warriors. At this moment, the one-fin demon extends its finger and says with its mouth, "Let me count, take all of them away." Its 4 fingers start to emit red light. Then with a squeak, it shoots a laser towards each of the 4 people respectively. The 4 people who are shot by the laser pass out, lose consciousness one after another, and fall to the ground. Just at this moment, the thick vine of the one-fin demon makes a cracking sound and opens a crack. The 2 captains, Joel and Gier, break through the vine and rush in. "Don't you dare touch them." Joel is furious, staring at the one-fin demon and shouting. The one-fin demon has a crafty smile. It grows vines again to roll up the 4 people who have lost consciousness and retreats. It rushes underground fiercely, and the ground is instantly broken open with a huge deep pit. Then it rumbles and escapes underground. The 2 captains are stunned for a moment. Does this one-fin demon actually take away 4 assessment warriors? Chase. Joel stares at the direction where the demon flees and shouts. The 2 follow the trace of the demon and chase for several kilometers, and finally lose the clue at the foot of a mountain. Gier is puzzled. All is repeatedly confirmed for several days. Why would a one-fin demon appear? He has never been careless about this matter. Damn it, such a thing has never happened before. Gier, Joel, hearing the familiar voice, the 2 look up. It is Hall. He settles the other people and rushes over quickly. "Where are the children?" Before Hall stops steadily, he asks anxiously, "Why did you stop?" Continue to chase. Thinking of the 4 children who were carried away by the demon, Hall is extremely anxious. "Calm down, Hall, the trajectory just breaks off here," Joel explains to him. "That one-fin demon seems to dive deeper here, and the front is an unexplored area. It is not a wise move for us to venture deep without caution." Hearing this, Hall slaps the ground fiercely. The scene from before rushes to his mind like a tide, and his heart is like being bitten by millions of poisonous insects, in extreme pain. For so many years, this has always been an unerasable pain in his heart. Bastard. Hall widens his angry eyes and curses with his mouth, and the sound is deafening. His fist hits the ground like a hammer, colliding violently with the ground, making a huge noise. The place where it is hit, the rocks instantly shatter and splatter a cloud of dust. "It's my fault. It's all my fault for not confirming clearly. It's all my fault." Hall can't contain his deep hatred and self-blame. "Let's go back first. I guess the town has been in a complete mess," Joel says worriedly. "We 3 can't be away. Later, we will dispatch the exploration team to inspect carefully around the town to confirm if there are any other one-fin demons." Gier also agrees with Joel's opinion. Seeing Hall squatting there unmoved, Gier walks over and gently puts his hand on his shoulder, saying, "Allie, those 4 children, the current situation is what we all don't want to happen. But we need to calm down. I understand that you are not feeling well now." However, Hall pushes away Gier's hand on his shoulder. Slowly getting up, he says to the 2, "You go back first. I'll take a look again. Don't worry." Joel looks at the situation that she can't persuade Hall and becomes anxious. "Hey, Hall, you really are." Before Joel finishes speaking, Gier makes a gesture indicating that Joel not to continue, and says to Hall, "Then you must come back as soon as possible before sunset." "Okay." I know." After Hall finished speaking, he runs towards the mist in front without looking back. "You know we can't persuade him," Gier says looking at Gio Hall's back. "I know, his younger brother was carried away by the demon back then, and he has always deeply blamed himself." Joel pats his head. "If his younger brother is still alive, he is almost the same age as those children. Those few children remind him of his younger brother." Gier looks up at the sky with a trace of sorrow. On the other side, Ong, who was carried away, gradually wakes up. He opens his eyes with great effort. Where is this? Could it be underground? Seeing his teammates tied to the huge trunk and still sleeping, Ong thinks that everyone seems to still be alive. At this time, a gloomy voice sounds from behind. "How could you wake up?" Ong turns his head, and it is the one-fin demon that carried them away. "Wake up so quickly. You are really different. I am very curious." The one-fin demon walks out from behind Ong and says grimly. Ong shakes his body to break free from the restraint, but the vine remains motionless. Suddenly, the one-fin demon turns around sharply and throws a fierce punch on Aang's face, and the thick trunk cracks with a boom. Why do you have our aura? A human. Why is your aura stronger than mine? The demon pinches Aang's chin and asks fiercely, "What kind of nonsense are you talking about?" Aang doesn't understand why he said that. At this moment, with a bang, Aang suddenly gathers his strength and breaks away from the vines tied to him. He leaps down from the trunk and lands firmly on both feet. Aang conveniently grabs a sharp spike, swings it fiercely towards the demon, and the spike draws an arc in the air and whizzes past, but only scrapes past the demon's figure. It easily sidesteps sideways and dodges Aang's attack like a phantom. Yo, quite energetic indeed. The one-fin demon is aroused to anger by Aang's move. It throws an uppercut punch and hits Aang flying out. Aang makes an arc in the air, flies out for more than 10 meters away, and slides for several meters after landing before barely stopping. Aang grits his teeth. Damn it, if it were in the previous life, I could cut off its head before it reacts. I must rescue the three of them. Thinking of the three teammates who are still in a coma, Aang knows deeply that the lives of his teammates are hanging by a thread, and the time is urgent, leaving no room for the slightest hesitation. Looking at the demon in front of him, Aang gathers his strength again, holds the sharp spike and rushes over. After the previous fight, Aang analyzes that this one-fin demon belongs to the red core demon, with flexible movements, and the nimble joints can provide faster reactions and attacks. But the joints also lack hard and thick leather protection, which is both an advantage and a disadvantage. Aang wants to break through its weak point. It's useless. The one-fin demon crooks its demonic claw and rushes towards Aang at a faster speed at the same time. The next second, Aang only sees several red lights in front of him speeding past like lightning. Before he has time to react, the demon has mercilessly thrust its sharp spike into Aang's body.